Hello, brethren and brethren. You're welcome to G Styles again. This is yours truly, G Styles. You already know. Now, today I am at the Baha'i Temple. It's a place of worship in Uganda. You know, in Uganda we have numerous religions. We have Christianity, we have Islam, we have Hinduism, we have so many others. But today we are at the Baha'i Temple. I have a good guide with me that is going to take us around and tell us more about the faith. Who knows, some of you might want to convert. I'm not preaching on their behalf, but I'm here to, explore and learn some more about it. So come with me and let's learn.
My name is Shalom Agaba. I'm a temple guide at Bahai House of Worship. I'm going to take you through the introduction and the history about the Baha'i Faith as particular. As you're seeing me where I'm standing at Chikaya Hill. It's where the temple is, as you see in the background. And the Baha'i Faith started as Baha'i Faith. I started in 1844 in a continent called Asia, in a country called Iran, and now it's called Persia. It was started by a man called Abab. And Bab in English means the gates, and by then in 1844 the faith was called Baha'i Faith. After Bab died, God brought another messenger called Bahawara. I also served for 7 years, and before dying, he changed the faith from Baha'i Faith to Baha'i Faith. So that's why we are called the Baha'is, because the forerunner of the faith is called Bahawara. Leaving that at that, it came in Africa in 1951, and by a man called Musa Banani, who was also from Iran, and he came particularly to spread the Baha'i faith in Africa, in the entire continent, but they chose Uganda because of the hospitality of the people, the welcoming, and by then Uganda was known as the Pearl of Africa as well. So they chose Uganda in particular because of such attributes and the record Uganda was having so far in Africa as well. So they chose to give us the temple in 1958, after the faith has been in Africa for 7 years, and then in 1958 they started the construction of the temple up to 1961. So it was 1961 before, even when Uganda gained independence, hosted the temple, and the temple has been there for 64 years and designed for prayers and meditations only up to now.
Okay, thanks Shalom. How is the Baha'i faith different from the other faiths?
Thank you for such a nice question. The Baha'i faith is distinct from other religions in a way that we Baha'i faith, we believe in different principles that I'm going to highlight down. One, we believe in the oneness of God. We believe that God is one. The one Muslims call Allah and the Christians call God is the same God. And again, we also believe in the oneness of humanity in a way that we are created by the same God, given the same abilities, and we are not, God did not create us to create wrangles between each other. We are to unite because we are the same body of God. Then another principle is like we believe in the oneness of religions. We believe that religion is one, leaving other factors constant, where you see that we have Islam faith, the Catholics, the Anglicans, the born agains. For us, God has only one religion. So we believe that religion is one. So we shall, of course, under the Baha'i faith, we also have the 9 manifestations of God that came under the umbrella of unity. That's where they formulated and based those principles I am highlighting. Then we also have the equality of men and women. We believe that God created us and gave us the same abilities, so what I can do, an individual can do it, irrespective of the sex. Then we also have the principle of the individual investigation of the truth. Mostly we Baha'is, we are distinct from other religions to an extent that we Baha'is, we give that ample time for the believers to make individual investigation about the faith. So we believe that even if you're born from a Baha'i family, you're not a Baha'i until you make your individual investigation of the faith, and you get to like the faith after studying it and knowing more of its basis. Thank you so much.
Are you Baha'i yourself?
Yes, thank you for such a question. I'm a Baha'i. To an extent, I have spent so far 2 years in an experience in the Baha'i faith, and as I have explained earlier on, of course I am about 15 years of age. I go to make individual investigation about the truth. I go to like it, and I can even extend the faith to the individual and teach the fellows as well. Of course, we Baha'is, we believe in sharing of ideas. So there's no like kind of like leaders. Maybe I should meet maybe the bishop or what,
Pastor.
a pastor, the imams. No, in Baha'i Faith they are not there. So
they are there. That makes you a pastor or an imam yourself, because you're preaching and extending the faith. Doesn't that make you one?
Now for us with Baha'is, we believe that those titles in the Baha'i Faith they are not there, because as I've shared you, among the principles of oneness of humanity, we are all equal, and we believe that everyone was created by God. So we only glorify and give that honor to God, not humanity.
Okay, now do your parents or your people at home know that you're Baha'i?
Obviously my parents are not Baha'is, because I was born from a Christian family, and when I also learned, of course I first learned part of the Christian faith, then I also learned about the part of the Baha'i faith, then I got to like the Baha'i faith because it taught me much.
Do they know that you're Baha'i?
Yes, so far they know that I'm Baha'i.
What was their reaction when the first time you know they got to learn that you're inclined towards the Baha'i faith, not the Christianity that they know?
Oh, wow. So as perhaps my parents, of course, at first they acted in a negative way to an extent that it was a sign of like showing disrespect, because they nurtured me in a Christian faith. But me, when I got to university and then I got my friends in the Bahai, then they taught me about the faith, then I linked with them more, I intellectually more. I found that Baha'i faith is more than the Christian faith. So I myself, I made that individual investigation, then I got to like that faith.
Interesting. Do the Baha'is believe in miracles?
Yeah, thank you. Obviously, we Baha'is, we don't believe in such kinds of miracles or any kind of like idols or like any like signs or like that are portrayed by man. Because as I have shared, we are all equal at the level of humanity. So we all have the same, God gave us the same understanding. What we do in the Baha'i faith, we only share the ideas only, then we relate them according to the Baha'u'llah's writings. That's the book that guides us only. So things of like miracles, or maybe this is performing a supernatural power more than the other, in the Baha'i faith they are not there.
And I'm also curious to know about what are the Baha'i, they call them Baha'u'llah?
Yes, please.
Those are the people, right?
Yes.
Then Baha'i is the religion?
Yes.
Okay, so you're a Baha'u'llah?
I'm a Bahai.
Bahai.
Yes.
And then Baha'u'llah?
Baha'u'llah is a messenger from God.
But you said you don't believe in those guys. In prophets and pastors and stuff. So tell me about a Baha'u'llah.
Okay. Now, before going to Baha'u'llah, let me first highlight this for you guys. Baha'i faith, as I told you, it's currently now being guided by the two messengers from God, but we believe, according to the principle I told you about, the principle of oneness of religions, we believe that religion is one. So at in our temples, there are temples so far, the Baha'i temples in the whole world, they are designed by 9 doors and 9 sides plus a dome. So those three things, the 9 doors, 9 sides and the dome, they simplifies unity. And again, those 9 sides, they also portray, or they show the 9 messengers of God, whereby we have Buddha, Krishna, Zoroaster, Abraham, Moses, Jesus Christ, Prophet Muhammad, Bab, and Baha'u'llah, the one we are currently having now. So Baha'u'llah is, we acknowledge him as a messenger from God, because he also came under he's also seen under those 9 manifestations of God. And again, he's the true messenger that we believe that came from God after the Bab, and after those ones that I mentioned. So we all believe in those 9 manifestations I have mentioned. But currently now, the messenger that we believe in, the writing that he left, is Baha'u'llah. That's why you are called the Baha'is, because the faith is called Baha'i Faith.
So, okay, great. Thank you so much. Do you guys believe in life after death?
We Baha'is, we believe that hell and heaven is here. You live in hell and you live in heaven now. But we also believe that, according to Baha'i faith, that there is life after death. But we shall see that, as I'm going to explain to you, what goes to heaven is the soul, and what goes to hell is the soul. So the physical body, or the physical things that you portray in this world, they are the ones that show us either you're living in hell or you're living in heaven. And again, it will also be the one that will show us more that your soul is already going in hell, or your soul is already going in heaven. Because we shall say that the soul is only controlled by God. So life after death, we believe that the attributes or the things that you yield. Maybe let's say, take an example, if you talk about the bad things like killing, bewitching people, stealing, committing murder, maybe fornicating, such bad things, evil things. If you're doing that one with a fresh, meaning that your soul is already combated in the what? In the hell. And again, if you're doing or maybe performing the divine best roles of God, or you're portraying them like kindness, happiness, faithfulness, truthful, worthy, God will also be praised and reward you accordingly, meaning your soul is already living in what? In heaven. So that's what the information I can give you about life after death.
Okay, great people. See, I'm here at the Baha'i Temple. Hope you see it there at the back. Yours truly, G Styles. That's a 360. Man, the place is huge. It sits on hundreds of acres. So even if I do a 360, that doesn't mean that that's the whole place. Okay, so I have a few things to discuss as I wait for my guide. My guide ran to go do a couple of things, but he said he'll be back shortly, so let's be talking in the meantime. Now, a number of things that from the introduction and the things that the guide has been telling us about have a million questions, yeah, and I guess you too have questions. First, for example, with all the religions that are in place, why introduce another? What is so special about this particular one? Because everything that has been mentioned, to be honest, so far, maybe we'll learn slightly more later on, but the few things that have been mentioned so far show that it has no significant difference from the other religions. Was it somebody that was so hungry to create another religion? Well, sometimes like in business, for example, there should be a need, in order for one to start a business, for example. So what was the need? I don't get it. I'll continue to look for answers as we move around. Then the other one is life after death. From what he said, they don't believe in life after death. So what is, I don't know, they could be right, by the way. I might be saying it from the other side of there's heaven and hell, and when people die, they either go to heaven or hell, and there is life, and the other one is a lot of suffering. But a faith that does not have something to do with after this life, what is the real motivation for people to stick in there? I don't know. I'm honestly just asking for myself, right? So you might have similar questions, but you drop them in the comment section. Let's discuss this. Which was that other question? They don't believe in prophets and messengers and the rest of those people. But my guide is doing an excellent job guiding me and preaching the gospel to me. What does that make them? I don't know, but I'm curious to learn. I am moving around on your behalf. Let's learn together and make the world a better place for all of us. I'm planning to travel even more. My plan is to do Uganda first, visit most of these places. Then afterwards, I will start going out. Please subscribe, follow, comment, and then share with a friend so you don't miss out on adventures such as these and interesting things to learn. So thank you for watching, and then keep hanging in there. as I wait for my guide.
We're in the cemetery where you're seeing different kinds and signs of graves, and this cemetery is only for the Bahai. And what is special here, we have different Baha'i believers that died, and as I've shared with you earlier, that when you reach 15 years of age, you need to make a will. Then we make your will, you give it to the National Spiritual Center, they keep it in case you die, then you have to review it and they get to know the specific area where you should be buried according to your will. So here we have 63 special graves that are here, whereby we have the one that brought the faith in Africa, the one we shared before, it's called Musa Banani, as you're seeing the grave is here. Then we have also the first African man, and he was a Ugandan, and he was also buried here. He was killed with the whole family during the period of Idi Amin in 1979. So that was man killed, they were killed on the same day and they were buried on the same day. Yeah.
Why was that family killed?
The family, thank you for such an interesting question. The family was killed because during that period of Idi Amin, he banned all other religions and left only to give freedom of worship on the three religions, where we have the Islam faith, the Anglican, and the Catholics. With the exception of the three I've mentioned, they were not allowed, they were banned. And it also so that in that period, 1979, the temple was also closed. People couldn't come, get that time to come and pray and meditate as well. So the family was killed because this man, and he was called Enokolinga, they told him to change the region. And
what was his name?
Enokolinga. Yeah. So he was told to change from Baha'i Faith to go in another region and infuse it, and that's why they killed him as well.
So these are all the Baha'is that have died?
Yes.
So Baha'is are not taken to their home places for burial?
But as I have shared with you earlier, when you, as a Baha'i, when you make 15 years of age, you make a will. And it's the will that will specify where should be buried.
For you, what does your will say?
For me, my will, of course, says when I die, I should be buried at my home place.
Okay.
That's where it is purpose.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said this was the first, this is the guy that brought Bahai to Uganda?
Yes.
Musa Banani. Okay. Then the first Ugandan, you said is the first Ugandan?
The first Ugandan was called Enokolinga.
Enokolinga, I see it here.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else that you would like our viewers to know about the cemetery?
The Baha'i cemetery is only for the Baha'is, and it's not a must that every Baha'i should be buried in the cemetery. It's for those who are specific in their wills that they should be buried in the Baha'i cemetery here in Uganda. And besides that, we have different other temples in Uganda and in Africa, and they also have in Bahai. They also have in Bahai cemeteries I have told you. So take an example: if you're Ugandan Bahai, and maybe you find you volunteering, maybe like in Congo or maybe in Kenya, because that's where the more temples are. You can decide either to be buried on one of those temples in Africa, if you wish. Yeah, if you specify in your will, then we Baha'is, it's our mandate to do what you wrote down.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shalom told me this grave right here, the one for the very first Baha'i convert in Uganda. He was killed in the hands of Idi Amin's thugs, because he refused to abandon that faith. This is the first time I'm in the cemetery. It's not scary because Shalom told me, Shalom, right? Because Shalom told me the Baha'is have nothing to do with life after death. So I know there's nothing here that let's say I'm firm, I'm strong, I feel I'm alright. But if it were an African cemetery, I wouldn't even allow to get close. A question that is not related to what you just said.
Right.
What do the Baha'is say about marriage?
Yes, thank you for such an interesting question. Baha'i, the way of how Baha'is conduct marriage, it's similar, it's not distinct from other regions how they do, except for us, we Baha'is, we believe in monogamy, whereby one man should own only one wife. And in the case maybe someone becomes a Baha'i after he or she maybe has got married more than one wife, or maybe take an example, a man is having like 4 wives, he's encouraged to maintain them. No adding. Even if one dies, he must remain with the 3, but not adding. Yeah, and if he's supposed to like divorce with others, we remain with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, so Shalom, thank you so much for taking me around. I have a few more questions though before we depart. Do the Baha'is believe, since I've been checking out the temple, do they believe in giving offertory? Do you, not do they, do you?
Alright, that's a nice question. We Baha'is, we are distinct from other religions in the way of offertory. For us, we Baha'is, we have a Baha'i faith, a Baha'i calendar rather, that guides us in how we offer. Take an example, we have like our month is made up of, it's there in the made up of 19 days. 19 days it is a month in the Baha'i faith. So after every 19 days, we always have the 19-day feast. It's when we collect some amount of money, then we keep it on the local spiritual assembly. Then when we make a year, because our year is made up of 19 months, as I've told you, after 19 days, that's the month. So if they accumulate up to 19 months, they make a year. So we collect that money that we have collected from 19-day feasts, then we take it to the National Spiritual Assembly. Then from the National Spiritual Assembly, it forwards it to the Universal House of Justice. That's the top organ or body that organizes or manages the Baha'i faith within the entire world.
Great. Your parting shots to our viewers.
What I can recommend our viewers, as I have discussed you earlier, that Baha'i faith is the only faith that unites the mankind, that unites people to the one God, that gives every individual the opportunity for the individual investigation of the truth, that also teaches and highlights more about the equality between men and women, and also teaches about God is the only creator. We don't confess to anyone. We don't maybe interest or maybe give some honor or maybe to any other people. And in Baha'i faith, we don't entertain like politics in like other religions do. So Baha'i faith, I recommend you, like it is the only faith I see around the globe that can make someone feel comfortable and rejoice him or her in as far as the things of faith are concerned.
I'm a little bit tired now. We've done a lot of walking around the place. There are many places where I wasn't allowed to film, so I had to record on my natural hard disk. All right, and it was great. I went inside the chapel, the temple. Sorry, not the chapel. Chapel is for Christians, right? So I went inside the temple. And the place was clean, like as if people don't even walk in there to pray. The people go in, it's super clean, like it's clean. After every time somebody walks in, somebody comes and cleans. I mean, that's what it seems like. There were no, I didn't see any much regalia. I only saw a writing, I think in Arabic, on the wall, and nice clean tables, and literature, a lot of literature. What was interesting was that there was a Holy Bible in there. I saw a Holy Quran, and some books about the Baha'i. Now that, I think, relates to what Shalom told us earlier, that it's really a uniting faith. It brings all the others together, like it's the fulcrum around which all the other faiths revolve, yeah? Because, a Bible in the Baha'i Temple was very interesting for me. I couldn't get it. I opened, wanted to see if it had Genesis, Exodus, and the rest, and it did. It had, what else? Yeah, what else? I've loved my tour around the place. Shalom has been so kind, so kind. If you come by, please look for Shalom. He's a great guy, he's patient, and he's answered all my questions. If you have any more questions, kindly drop them in the comments. Like, share this video, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on videos and adventures such as this. Let me know where you'd like me to visit next. But for now, thank you for hanging out with us, and see you on the next one. Cha-ching, cha-ching, ching.